May have noticed something about our menu this evening. John Wesley, I'm told, believed that a vegetarian diet was the foundation of good health, a strong spiritual practice, and a connection with God. He did also say that wine is one of the noblest cordials in nature. And so we are finishing this evening with a toast. I'd like to invite up Leslie Griffiths, former chair of the governing body of Southlands College, former member of the university's governing body, member of the House of Lords. Leslie.
They've been taking bets around the room on whether at my age I would last the evening or not. And I'm delighted to say that one or two of you who I know placed your bets in a particular way have been proved radically and utterly wrong. They brought me out of mothballs for this occasion, I have to say. I was born in the year that King Uzziah died, and it's just a pleasure to see so many of you still sparkling at the end of an evening like this, although I do note those who've had to leave when their eye wandered down the program to see what was happening next. So it's a joy to put this occasion to bed. I've had the joy of having such wonderful company that they've all gone. And I just rejoice to see that the university and the college are in such good hands. It was marvellous, really, that this morning I was in the House of Lords for some parliamentary business when Baroness Verma, our new Chancellor, was sitting across the chamber from me. We are friendly, but on opposite sides, and it was lovely to see her here this evening. She put a question to the Minister of Health, and the Minister of Health replied, but prefaced his reply by telling the entire chamber that they should rejoice with him that Baroness Verma was celebrating her birthday today. And when I mentioned this to her earlier, she told me that her husband also was celebrating his birthday. Now, if she'd been here, I was going to ask us to sing happy birthday to the Vermas. Since they're not here, I'm going to ask us to sing happy birthday to the Vermas. So, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to the Vermas, happy birthday to you. She would have loved it. Now, all I can say is that it really is an age since I was here, but I was the first chair of the trustees of Southlands College when they moved to this site. And so we saw all the teething problems. We learned of the decision of the Privy Council to grant us initial degree granting powers and then research powers. And we put together all kinds of possible futures for ourselves, including one that would be for a federal university with the University of Surrey. And to mark that signal occasion, we had a service at Westminster Abbey to launch the Federal University of Roehampton, Surrey. And I was called to preach the sermon. Now, as I stood in the pulpit at Westminster Abbey, looking down at that moment where the two Vice-Chancellors, Bernadette Porter and the Vice-Chancellor of Surrey, stood together like a bride and groom, which of course inspired me at once to change my sermon to incorporate frequent allusions to the similarity they formed of being a bridal couple. Sadly, afterwards, although one was a Roman Catholic and we were in an Anglican abbey, a divorce took place, and the college and the university took a different direction. I mention all of that simply because the toast I want to grant will incorporate the way I finished my sermon on that occasion. And since all of you are so young and will not have any memories of that occasion, I can afford to do it a second time. You see, I'm in the House of Lords. I'm a poor Methodist boy, and my wife accuses me sometimes of having delusions of grandeur, so that, not contenting myself with being a baron, I sometimes convince myself that I'm royalty, because I get this picture in my head sometimes when I'm asleep of standing on a rickety platform on a riverside in Scotland probably, with a vessel in front of me that's about to be launched. HMS Southlands or HMS Roehampton. And in order to effect this great moment, I take an enormous bottle of Methodist de-alcoholized champagne, which is the only kind worth wasting. And I throw it across the bows of this vessel in front of me, and as it slides away, backwards into a sea it hasn't yet begun to navigate, to a future it can't possibly predict, I simply have to say, as all good launchers of ships do on such an occasion, God bless HMS Southlands, God bless HMS Roehampton, and all who sail in them. God bless.
Thank you, Leslie, and thank you all so much for being here with us this evening. It's been a really special evening for me. I hope you've all enjoyed yourselves. There are too many people to thank individually by name this evening, and I know you're all keen to go and get tea and coffee, which will be back in the Adam room after I've finished. But I do want to say just a few very special thank yous for what we've done today. We've had we're in the middle of a 6-day program of activities, which finishes this coming Saturday with a very large alumni reunion down in Southlands College. And it has taken an army of really wonderful people to execute things as well as they have been executed. Every bit of every text and every part of every design has been carefully and lovingly produced by members of our team. Things only look easy when they aren't. So thank you to everybody. But for today, just by name, I first of all want to thank Sue for delivering the most exceptional day, I think. The thought and the care and the creativity which Sue puts into the conferences which we run at Southlands is unparalleled in my experience, and it really, really shows. So thank you, Sue. Alongside her, a big thank you to Liz, whose work to make sure that that vision somehow turns into a practical reality, and a practical reality which is so super organised that it's slick despite everything the world might throw at it. Thank you ever so much, Liz. And finally, Lewis. Lewis has masterminded this evening's dinner in particular. He's involved in a whole lot of other things which are going on this week, but tonight's dinner has only gone so smoothly as it has because of Lewis's very, very hard work, early mornings, late nights, and sort of coping with my table planning, which has taken the best part of a week. So I hope it worked out okay for everybody. It's cause much distress to Lewis. So thank you ever so much, Lewis.
And thank you to Christopher Stevens for all the masterminding and the geniality that he's bestowed upon this occasion.